we're all here. Well, I'm sure more will come.
Yes. Yes, hello. How is it? How is it going today?
Oh, good.
It could be better. My toe was hurting like crazy, but I took some pain medicine and it's mostly gone now, thankfully.
Oh, good.
I forgot that M. Night has this section of film Twitter that freaks out if you don't like one of his movies.
Why? Because is it because they saw your rating for Trap or something?
Yeah. Which I didn't say anything that disagreeable
his new success in the movies he's making, like, people seem to reevaluate his older films.
Yeah, there's people that are saying like you can't criticize his dialogue anymore. Like that's a weird take, but whatever.
Right.
Yeah, a bit ridiculous.
I also saw Trap yesterday. I thought it was kind of bad, but at the same time, I thought it was a guilty pleasure in my opinion. Like I can totally understand someone like really hating it, but I kind of just had a blast watching it. Mostly just for how stupid it was. But
here's without spoiling anything, my biggest issue is that like the entire time it rides on the concept of like tension. When there is no tension because we're not rooting for the main character. He's not interesting. Exactly. He's not even an interesting bad guy character. He's just somebody who we're like, oh, okay, I hope he gets cut, sort of thing. So there is no tension throughout the film. And if you're going to do that, then it either needs to be crazier or it needs to be smarter. So crazier would be something like Law-Abiding Citizen, which, by the way, that was a character where people were actually rooting for, whether or not, that's morally correct. But there were people invested in whether or not the cat and mouse game happened, right?
Yeah,
and Law-Abiding Citizen was also like just dumb enough. Enough crazy things were happening in that movie that it managed to be entertaining throughout. And then if you're not going to go crazy, you got to be smarter. And, something like Death Note, like a cat and mouse game where it's like, oh, someone thinks they have the one up on someone else. And then actually, oh, there was another plan. Somebody else had the one up. This movie had none of that because every single time it wasn't because he did something smart. He just got really lucky. So it wasn't, it didn't succeed on being tense. And it wasn't smart and it wasn't crazy. So it was just repetitive and boring.
What are you talking about, Longlegs or
anytime we're talking about Trap, and I'm not spoiling it, but literally anytime something happened that was like the slightest bit memorable, it was the dumbest fucking shit in the world.
Yeah.
Very minor spoiler, but like one of the big problems I had with Trap is the fact that like if you ever been to an event of that nature, like a concert of that nature, you'll know that like security is usually much different than how it is portrayed in the film. Like you think that like these police officers and FBI agents would handle this like way better than they do.
Oh yeah, they're dumb. He only succeeds because they're dumb.
Yeah,
like there's no cleverness to how like he is able to solve any.
Minor spoiler. I love the fact that he just casually walks into like a concession booth at one point. That part made me laugh really hard.
Yeah, and then there's like security cameras, and then like nothing really comes.
Yeah,
from that.
Nothing makes any sense if you think about it for like half a second.
Mm-hmm.
But like apparently that's not kosher for
people.
Yeah. Well, because I see a lot of the people on Twitter, the M. Night stands, and a lot of them are bringing up like how people call him Shamalama Ding Dong, which I can agree.
Has
like
stands.
Oh yeah, he does. He's got a good chunk of film Twitter now for some reason.
For sure.
Like I agree, people shouldn't be calling him that. Like I don't even think in my video I made when I was like 19 that I said that. Like that's kind of like a weird, like racial kind of thing, but
yeah.
Still, I mean, there's so many other criticisms that people just aren't legitimate. Hello, by the way. Hi, everybody who's joining.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, Adam.
How are his daughter's songs? How's the music?
Is that right?
I don't know if
I mean,
mic is working.
What was kind of funny is this movie was very much a vehicle for just promoting his daughter's music.
Basically.
In the same way that like
quite literally.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. It's just like, okay, you're gonna play the pop star. And her music wasn't bad, and she's got a really good singing voice, but without spoiling anything, she plays like a pretty prominent role in the film, and as soon as things start happening that require her to like actually act, she really stands out. like really embarrassingly.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I
it's
just
pretty
fucking realized what
nepotism. Yeah.
Sorry, I just realized what Vice's profile pic is from. Oh my god.
Oh.
How did it
The
take you so long?
memories.
It's a classic.
Didn't Shyamalan's daughter direct a movie like
I saw
last
it once and then closed the window immediately.
Yeah, so Shyamalan has I'm pretty sure those are different daughters. He's got more than one
Okay.
daughter. He might also have
Okay.
a son. I don't know, but one daughter was in this movie singing and acting, and her songs were pretty good, but like in the context of the movie, I don't think they're exactly songs that like would get like a Swifty audience filling a
Right.
stadium.
There was like a few songs that seemed reminiscent of like something like Katy Perry music, or
almost, but not quite. There's something missing
Yeah.
from it.
yeah,
It's not
exactly.
quite there. Whereas like in something like, I don't know, like Vox Lux, like I believed they had Sia write the music in that film, where it was like believable
Wow.
that there was like an actual like pop star making music.
I wouldn't be surprised if like Shyamalan's daughter who sang in the film like was like a humongous Swiftie or something, because it really got that vibe watching the film.
No, because it doesn't show in her music. She's not writing Swiftie music. It's just the way that M. Night wrote the story. He decided to make it as though she was making Swiftie music, even though she wasn't. Just for like the sake of the plot, I guess.
I guess that
Good
makes
boy.
sense. Although one cool thing I will say, they filmed this film in my home state, Ohio. So I've actually
Nice.
I've never been to the stadium that they filmed it in, but it looked very similar to stadiums that you would find in Ohio. So like, it was kind of cool seeing a place that I've never been to but looked familiar to me. So that was kind of fun watching it in that context.
Mm-hmm. Do they have any sushi restaurants in Ohio?
Yeah, but they're all trash because we don't have really good seafood.
You should open one up and name it Ohio Gozaimasu.
Uh,
All right, Nico, what's up?
Speaking of Katy Perry, you know that other song, Woman's World, where it reminded you of another song?
Yes.
It reminded, I wanted to say that it reminded me of a 70s song called We Are Family.
Oh, maybe.
Or,
the song
We Are Family.
I know that song, but I don't
the song-
know if I want to listen to the Katy Perry one again to even confirm.
Yeah.
The song you were listening to, like for 10 seconds, just dance, DANCE. That is like they struck the video or trying to.
Yeah, we'll do a counter notification.
It's fucking 10 seconds.
Yeah, it's dumb. I think that when companies respond to copyright claims, they don't even check over.
Oh,
They're
they
just like-
absolutely do not.
They're like, oh, this is our stuff.
I don't think they check it. I'm convinced they have like an auto decline feature.
Oh, I'm 1,000% convinced of that. It's annoying.
Women's World was a shit song. I think it became like the most like meme song, and like unintentionally. I feel like
It's
everyone.
really
I don't know if it's that memed. I don't know if I've seen any I've just seen people like criticize it.
I haven't seen like many memes of it,
Yeah.
which surprises me because it's fucking awful. Oh my god.
It was just like kind of like a deflated attempt to be back in the public consciousness. It's only
Also, there was, like,
embarrassing
drama with
because
the
it's like
producer, I think.
Sorry?
There was drama with the producer too, I
Oh,
believe.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I think she's
Allegedly
she's,
he
like,
assaulted Kesha.
Hmm.
At least that's what Shark said.
That's what I've heard. Heard the same thing.
Yeah, it's one of those things that's only really embarrassing because they obviously were promoting it in a way where they thought it would be a hit. Like if it was just like a random side song or something, then it would be fine. Like no one would care if it didn't get a music video. It'd just be like this cringe song that nobody heard. But the fact that they were promoting it, I think, added to
Katy Perry
backlash.
always gave off Katy Perry always gave off like outdated feminist ideas. I would say like. I don't know if anybody else thinks that way. I think there was a thing about how like she apparently wanted Kamala Harris in her campaign to like use the song, but she declined because it was so bad.
Yeah, we don't want another like Pokemon Go to the polls type.
Please no.
Who has
Please no.
I can hear audio in someone's background, and I don't know who.
Oh, sorry. I think it might be me.
Okay. It was, but you have a question and your hand is raised, so you can unmute to ask the question if you want.
Okay. So have you guys heard the news that Sam Raimi is producing and directing another horror film?
Yay!
Yes.
Ooh,
Yep.
I haven't heard this.
He's using it like he's gonna distribute it via 20th Century Studios because of like the Disney connection of him doing Doctor Strange.
Whatever. If it gets it made, then I guess that's a good thing, but that just means there probably won't be a Blu-ray, and definitely not a 4K.
Yeah,
which is bad.
Man,
but I'm down for another Sam Raimi horror because his like Drag Me to Hell was incredible. So
yeah, I love Drag Me to Hell.
Yeah, I want to return with him.
Such a great movie.
Is rumored to star in it. Sandra Bullock is rumored to star in it.
That would be weird. But I trust Sam. I trust Sam. And, like, if let's say, it's not like Alison Lohman in Drag Me to Hell. It's not like I've loved her in anything else. So I just kind of trust that he'll be able to use whoever properly in the role. Mm-hmm. If it's like a comedy horror weird thing, like, I could imagine Sandra Bullock doing a good job in it.
Sure.
Yeah. Depends on the level of self-awareness. Was that
Will she bark like in Gravity?
Yes.
Yeah, I hope so.
I hope so.
That should be a requirement for every script she gets. Like, you have to have me barking once to reference Gravity.
I love that
scene. I've never actually seen Gravity. I've never seen Gravity. I just know that scene because you like referenced it a million times at the start of the Bird Box
video. Because it's one of few memorable moments of the movie. Once you get past like the special effects, I guess. Like
the first 10 minutes is kind of memorable.
I feel like maybe I could watch it again just to remind myself of what it was, but like I feel like I'll be disappointed again.
It seems like it would be like a better theater movie. Like it's pure spectacle. I remember I enjoyed it overall. All I remember is really like the barking scene and the last 10 minutes were kind of memorable to me. But other than that, yeah, it's fine. I like it's like lower tier Corone for me.
Well, speaking of Alfonso Cuarón, I think he's doing an Apple TV Plus series as his next project. I think that's coming out later this year. But
that's coming out this year, and it's got Kate Blanchett.
Cool.
Oh,
and it's called
Disclaimer.
Thank you. It's called Disclaimer. I'm going to lower Max's hand. I'm assuming they're done because they left.
I did this TIFF lineup has not been released yet, but I did look at some of the films they announced. The one that I'm the most curious about is Joshua Oppenheimer has a new film, The End. That's interesting. That it's apparently his
Tilda Swinton's
first. Yeah, and it's scripted. It's where he's usually known for documentaries, and so it's interesting he's doing a scripted movie now.
Yeah, I'm excited because his documentaries are like really well made and well shot. So, like, I could see him making that transition.
Yeah,
I'm just publishing the new Adam and Pals to some socials on this other computer. 1 second. Because I had it scheduled. Oh yeah, so the poll's over, so it looks like I'm watching 12 Angry Men.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was the one who suggested Spy Kids 3D Game Over on the poll, so
that would have been awesome.
I think I've seen 12 Angry Men.
But which one? Because there's a bunch. There's like 20 of them.
There's like another movie I keep mixing it up with.
Oh.
A Few Good Men, another courtroom drama.
No.
Yeah.
No, there's like a different
Hello.
one that just kind of occupies the same headspace for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
It's 1957.
One Angry Man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, The Dirty Dozen. That's it. I don't know why.
I don't think that's it.
I mean, that's like a Western.
I know, but they just the titles they get mixed up in my head for some reason.
I can understand the confusion. I mean, they both got 12 people in the title, something like that.
Ocean's 12.
Ocean's 12, yeah, same movie.
12 Years a Slave.
Mm-hmm.
You're just going with 12 titles. I guess I'm going to ask a question.
12 Monkeys.
Oh yeah, 12 Monkeys as well. I guess I'll ask a question about the poll. So like, obviously we're doing 12 Angry Men this month, but like for the next month, are you going to include like the options that didn't get voted on, or like?
I don't know, because I think it would be nice to just. I think I like the idea of having a new poll every month, and if some of the ones from last month that didn't get selected are still there, then they're there. Like, I don't see any reason to carry it over, because if people are still in, if people really want me to watch Blue Velvet, then it'll be on the next poll anyway, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Should we continue to vote for more than one movie?
I don't see why not.
Yeah, I voted for a few.
Yeah, I don't see why that's a bad.
Where was this vote?
On Patreon.
Okay. I guess I didn't see it.
I promoted it so many places.
Well, here's a tip actually about that. So, a tip that I'll say is the fact that like you have to like if you're an old Patreon, you have to do one of the new tiers to access the poll. I found this out myself.
They're new
so
perks.
Yeah, I'm on the $12 a month poll now, which I'm okay with because they're giving Adam more money as a result of it.
Thank
in
you.
all honesty, so
and also I just want to remind everybody, this is the first time I've changed my tiers since 2013 when I started, and things have gotten way more expensive than the amount I raised it by. So it was just something I had to do at some point anyway. So
I should probably change mine.
Yeah. So everybody on the old perks is grandfathered in at their level with the exact same perks they had before. So if nobody wants to change, they don't have to. But there's new perks on the new tiers. So people were giving suggestions of other things that I could add. And I'm kind of the one that I'm leaning towards the most. I think I could probably do like an audio only like Patreon little ramble or something, like a monthly just on any topic. Because I know, like, Jenny Nicholson does that, and I think
ContraPoints
does that, and I think it's not a bad thing to have. So now that we're doing that and the watch-alongs poll, as I'm trying to include new things to get people more interested in the Patreon that can be Patreon exclusive things that doesn't take away necessarily from like the content I'm putting out on YouTube. And B, also trying to like manage and scale things back in a way where it's not going to take that much more out of like the time that I have, because otherwise I'm just creating a new problem if I'm spending a bunch of time on these things. So I think, a watch along a month and like a 30-minute ramble a month, I think I can do. However, I'm wondering, is there a way? So the reason why I did the first poll on Reddit is because I know that it's really easy to sort the comments on Reddit by most upvoted. For the movie watch-along poll, I wouldn't mind having like the patrons come up with the ideas for the poll, as in not it just be something on Reddit that anyone can access. I know on Discord, everyone who's a patron has like a role in the Discord. I don't know anything about Discord, and I barely use it. But for the people that do, and I think, Olivia, you have like mod privileges in the Discord, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Would we be able to figure something out where if there's like a channel or something for that only the patrons can access, would that just be a place where people can, there can be an announcement every month being like, hey, drop your suggestions here for the next watch along poll, and then another channel for drop your suggestions here for the next ramble poll. And then is there a way on Discord to like easily sort through those and figure out which ones have the most like hearts or something? Is there a way? And if there is no way to organize them that way, would I just be able to like get a mod to like, you know, if there's like a 24-hour poll or something, just get a mod to scroll through and be like, okay, here are the ones with over like 10 hearts or something.
I'm really not sure.
Okay.
Like I'm not like I barely use Discord.
Who should I talk
begin
to?
with.
You can make polls on Discord. I know you can do that.
It's not about
Yeah, I think
making
Discord
the poll
has a
on
poll.
Discord. It's about having an open comment section that only patrons can answer to, where the suggestions that appear on the poll are decided by the people that comment. So not the poll itself would have answers already selected, right? So the 10 things that were on the Patreon poll were selected by Reddit, and they were just the most upvoted comments. I think it would make sense to try and do something like that for Discord, because it's like attached to Patreon, and we would know that patrons get to like make these suggestions.
I think there's another Discord server I'm part of where they have like private chats, and I think maybe if you like maybe pick like a private chat for Patreons only, maybe that could help. I'm not entirely sure how that works, but it's an
I'm
idea.
gonna have to
that
talk
you
to
could
someone
do.
then.
All right.
Thank you.
Sorry I couldn't be of more help.
That's all right.
wish
I'll
I
just
could
have
be
to
more
remember
help
to
as
do
well.
that later.
I wish I need more help, but that's the best I got with though. I am admittedly like I was secretly hoping that Spy Kids 3D Game Over was gonna win, but it didn't.
I mean, maybe it'll win another time.
We got to make it happen one day.
Well,
we gotta
yeah,
make it
yeah,
happen.
We have to watch the first two, right?
Have you watched
no,
any
you don't
Spy
need
Kids
to.
before, Adam?
Yeah. I watched the first two when I was a kid. I don't know if I watched the third one.
I did.
Yeah.
I've seen the first three. I don't remember
Somebody
them much.
ring the dingster?
Somebody ring the dingster. That's great. Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Give me the 3D glasses.
Is there a 4K of Spy Kids or even a
No.
Blu-ray?
There should be a 4K
Well, there's
UHD
There is
Blu-ray of
Blu-rays,
everything.
but there's no 4K of Spy Kids, but there are Blu-rays that
I
exist.
don't think I could handle living in a world where there's a 4K of Spy Kids and not Poor Things.
Spy Kids Criterion.
Oh.
Yeah.
Poor Things going Criterion. would be sick.
What commentary would George Miller add? Like, oh, I just wanted to have fun with this. Oh, this was a fun project I did.
I want his commentary to Happy Feet 2, where he talks about how
now
much he
that's
hates
very
it.
important. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where it talks about the fact that he hated working on it or something.
Yeah.
Sony tricked me into making this piece of shit.
It wasn't Sony, it was Warner Bros.
Whatever.
Taylor, you have your hand raised. What's up?
Yeah, I was just kind of brainstorming about the new tier and the Patreon voted watch along, or yeah, I guess it would always be a watch along. So the people who vote for that are the same tier as the Hangout boys, right? Or John
I think. Let me just double check. I think there's one lower tier that you can vote on. I think the voting power is the one in between the Hangout and the lowest one.
okay, that kind of kiboshes my idea. I was thinking that if it was just this tier and higher, then you could almost dedicate like the first 30 minutes from every Hangout to the people discussing the movie that we voted on, and then that could be like a highlight, and then in our Hangouts we choose and vote for the movie for the next month.
No,
and then you're kind of creating,
because I want more people to be able to vote on it than people that are in the Hangout. Because there's a good chunk of people that are like subscribed to the Hangout thing that like don't regularly go in it because they might not like have the time to join at a certain day or anything like that. Whereas like an internet poll is just easy to do from anywhere.
True.
So yeah, the the second tier has the voting power and the review notes. And I've made it a lot more. I've literally just copied Jenny Nicholson's Patreon in terms of the formatting, and made things way more simple so that people can easily just see what the tiers are without reading through like paragraphs of crap.
Yeah.
So I think this works out better.
Cool.
Yeah, 100%.
What day you're planning on doing the 12 Angry Men watch along?
Well, part of me was like, oh, I might have time today, but then the other part of me is like, I should probably give people some notice if it's something that was voted on. So I might aim for like a couple weeks from now. I was just looking at my calendar, so I don't know. It'll probably be like on a Friday or something.
Okay, that's cool. Thankfully, I'll be able to do these pages. I did get an internship recently. I'm going to be working at like a recording company, which I'm happy about. But thankfully, I'll still be able to do these hangouts as long as they're on Fridays because I'm working on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So that'll be fun to have an experience with video production stuff. They say.
Very cool.
What was the other movies on that poll?
Blue Velvet was one of them. Howard the Duck was one of them. That was another.
Howard the Duck.
Oh no, no.
You put 12 Angry Men and Howard the Duck on the same list.
Incredible.
That checks out, though. That checks out.
I mean, yeah, I don't mind
for a Howard
why
the Duck watch along.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm on
most
the
random movies.
Sorry, I'm on
That
the
sums up this
Patreon
community
page.
pretty
We're
well.
talking about like 12 Angry Men, one of the best like courtroom drama scripted movies, and then one of
Duck
the
titties.
worst Marvel movies ever with duck kitties.
Look, I don't think I'd have a successful YouTube channel if I didn't talk about like kind of shitty funny movies. So.
That's true.
You wouldn't be anywhere without Cool Cats or like I don't know, Unfriended or Birdemic.
Megan is Missing.
Neil Breen forever, baby.
Classics.
Cat Chef was watching more TikTok as he be doing, and he found like every time I've seen there'll be some random TikToker that's like top 5 most disturbing movies of all time. And every time I see those lists, I'm like, every single one of these is shit. Every single one of these. No, it'll be like Megan is Missing. Like unironically.
How disturbing.
Megan is Missing, and then one of them was like Tusk. It's like disturbing movies of all time.
Terrifying if you're afraid of houses with no chairs.
Tusk is boring. If that's the terrifying part about it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like one disgusting visual effect that they did that kind of looked cool, I guess, but
it's not disturbing. It's just like really unfunny and bad.
Weird, yeah.
I remember how much Adam hated that movie.
It's shocking how I remember it for being so bad. Like I that was a genuine anger experience.
I haven't seen it. I've just heard bad things.
I would put like something like Martyrs.
Or the Human Centipede movies, even.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
2 especially.
There's like an
Killer.
infinite amount of disturbing movies. Like there's a million of those like iceberg videos. And like you could just keep going down, down, and down. It just keeps getting worse.
Yeah. Well, a lot of what people find disturbing, I don't know. I'm just not fazed by a lot anymore.
Well, it's also,
Martyrs
like,
is a
surfer
disturbing
level.
film. That was in one of the videos. I was shocked to see Martyrs and Megan is Missing in the same.
Yeah.
Oh,
what the
actually,
fuck?
Antichrist was in there too. I was like, Antichrist and Megan is Missing in the same video.
That's funny.
It seems like not the same person would enjoy both of those films.
Yeah, that's really
No.
weird.
I'm surprised The Lovely Bones wasn't on there because that's a movie that gets tossed around for how like amazingly dark and sad it is.
Has anyone talked about Lovely Bones in the past 10 years?
No.
Has anyone even mentioned it in the past?
I mean,
I
If
remember.
they have,
I mean, it
missed
was-
out.
it was playing on TV
Very
like a month
rarely.
ago.
Yeah,
It's the
Very
last time I
rarely I'll
remember
see
it.
discussions
it's
of the Lovely
something
Bones.
I come across on TikTok occasionally as I'm
And-
like posting stuff on there.
And all discussion of the Lovely Bones I see is just around like the pedo and his mustache.
Stanley.
Stanley.
Stanley Two
Gucci.
Cheeks.
Mm-hmm. Stanley Gucci.
Oh, Gucky.
Gucky.
House of
Gucky.
Gucky.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how these Adam and Pal's videos perform, because I know there's probably a good chunk of people that are just like not ready to watch.
Yeah, I haven't watched it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I'm just dealing with a lot of depression in general.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't get
I
any
think they could
fucking
also
work
be-
done today.
It could also be helpful for people who miss them and stuff like that too. Like I know it can
Yeah.
go both ways.
Yeah, the people
Yeah.
there's people that appreciate them being posted. So
Hmm.
yeah, so I who's I keep forgetting. I'll just have to open Discord and see who the hell runs it. I keep forgetting. 1 second. I'm so not a Discord user. Just for like individual calls, basically. That's it.
Don't you and Torikin and during certain gaming streams use Discord to chat with
Exactly.
each other? Okay.
I just don't use it the way that it's set up with all the features that I should know about it.
I mean, I only started doing Discord like a year
You could use
ago.
a server icon, honestly, for like the streaming one.
What do you mean?
Oh, you just don't have a server icon at all.
I don't even know what that means.
Really? The little fucking image. Like, you click on the circle and then you're in the server.
Oh, why does that matter? I can recognize
I
it
don't know,
easier
it'd
if
look
it just
nice.
well, I don't care.
Boomer
If it's the only one that doesn't have it, then it's easier to find it.
Adam.
I guess.
I guess that makes me a boomer. If I don't care. Who gives a shit? All right, yeah, I'll have to remember. Maybe I'll message Fanboy because Fanboy knows a bit more about Discord. Because I could make it so that people in a certain tier on the Patreon get a different role than just the general. Like you get an extra role or something probably if you're at the tier where you can vote. I think that makes sense. I think that's what I'll do. And then we'll just have to figure out how to collect all the answers.
I like the no Star Wars rule.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I'm not watching another Star Wars. So we're not doing
That's
it.
good.
Or any long movies like Station Tango.
Well, if we do polls and people recommend 8-hour movies, and I'm trying to scale back and find more time for my passion projects, then I've done something wrong. So we need to make sure people aren't recommending like all of One Piece.
Yeah.
Ooh.
We'll see how much the disclaimer list grows in a year.
I mean, so far it's worked out. There
Yep.
was nothing on the poll that seemed like I needed to make a new rule.
Adam, Andor is so good. You should check it out. It's really good.
I think Adam would like Andor.
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Adam would like
I don't
Andor.
care. I don't care. It doesn't matter if I would like it or not. Because if I like it, I'm not gonna love it. I'm just gonna be like, oh, that was good.
No, it was okay.
Who cares? It's a waste of
Whatever.
time.
Yeah. What about Star Trek? Like, would you be into that at all, or no? More of the same feelings.
I don't know. I'm not going to go out of my way to consume it.
What about the
Yeah.
new Thumb Wars? Are you gonna watch that?
There's a new one.
Though I mean, there was like a trailer for it that came out like a couple years ago. It's probably gonna be dumped online
Oh,
at some point.
I wonder how that will
Not
be.
sure.
I like Steve Odekirk, but like,
I love Steve.
I have a
Odekirk.
feeling. I have a feeling like anything that's a Star Wars parody is still gonna just piss me off because it's gonna be made for Star Wars fans.
Yeah.
Understandable.
All right,
Yeah.
all right, guys. So we now know no Spaceballs recommendations.
Yes,
Yeah,
I've
of course.
seen Spaceballs anyway. I don't
Okay.
care.
Baseballs isn't even good.
It's
It's just Star Wars.
yeah.
It's much weaker than like Young Frankenstein and Blazing Saddles.
His other
I mean,
movies are very much-
Spaceballs only had like one funny scene for me, and that was the John Hurt chestburster scene. You know, just him screaming, "Oh no, not again!" is just enough for me. And that's it.
I think there's like a new. Wait, no, never mind.
I mean, I can't think of any sci-fi comedy that spoofs the Star Wars after that movie.
There was that what's that Star Trek one that came out in the 90s? I can't remember the
Galaxy
name of
Quest?
it. Yeah, Galaxy Quest. That's what
Yeah.
I was thinking of.
Yeah.
I remember
I like
enjoying that when I was younger, but
Same.
I
Never
don't.
seen it.
I don't know if I would enjoy it today.
That's
The only
really
thing
exciting.
I
You're
can say
getting
about
back
Galaxy
to
Quest is that the only thing I can say
longer
about
videos.
Galaxy Quest is that after seeing Chippendale Rescue Rangers, I feel like they were trying to do what Galaxy Quest did, but what didn't work for me is that it's based off an actual IP, or at least they were trying to do something like Galaxy Quest but with an actual IP.
Yeah.
I gotta figure out which of these movies that I've seen in the past month and a half I'm actually gonna talk about. Maybe
Long
I
Legs.
probably should do like a big quickie catch up stream because I think they've piled up. That I think
Yeah,
that's just the way to do it.
Well, since you have a lot to talk about, why don't you I kind of want to discuss Long Legs for a second. I thought it was just okay. I didn't hate it as much as some people did, but I also didn't love it as much as the people did. I just thought it could have been better, but there are stuff I liked about it. It's like, I want to hear what you thought about it.
It was underwhelming and disappointing, and Nick Cage was not. He was not used properly. If he's gonna do crazy screaming, and be a weird character, eccentric character, then he should do it in a movie that's not taking itself nearly as seriously.
Yeah, like the music kind of like made it seem like it was more
awful.
scarier than it was, for sure.
It definitely was insisting that he was doing something scary and not silly and dumb.
I know.
Are you saying it would have been played like something like Walking Phoenix?
I mean, Joaquin Phoenix undoubtedly would have done a better job.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was
kind of boring.
It was
too.
it was kind of shit.
I was half.
And
asleep
then
the
It's
entire
very
way
forgettable and
Yeah.
not scary and not really interesting.
Would you say this is more disappointing than when people were overhyping the Babadook, or even 20 years ago, the Blair Witch Project was considered overrated?
I don't consider the Blair Witch Project to be overrated, but
I like Blair Witch.
through.
I love
Yeah.
Blair Witch.
I don't know if I would use the word disappointing because my expectations weren't super high anyway. Because I've seen other movies from Oz Perkins and I've never connected with any of them. So
Yeah,
I just
also
I was very cautious about the hype.
Yeah, it
Well-
was basically just like a regular David Fincher crime drama movie, but like horror as well.
It was trying to be a bunch of things at once and just not that great at being any of them.
Yeah,
There's
and,
other
yeah, it's
better
just,
movies
like,
that have just done a better
no,
job at
it
those same
didn't
things.
do anything new except maybe
Which one of you was going to
part
tell
of,
me
like, the horror.
different if you put it in hot water?
What?
Something showed up on your phone?
Radish, answer the question, Radish.
Okay, I'm muting. Sorry.
What?
Jay, your hand is up. What's up?
So going through your list of 2016, can you explain why you rated Amityville? Why did you rate one of the Amityville movies into your list?
Because it was on my watch list, and things make themselves onto my watch list for either things that could be good or things that could be funny bad, or just things that
And
people have recommended me in the subreddit. And it was there, and depending on what I'm doing and what kind of day I have, I'll put on a certain type of film, and that was the film that I thought I could put on.
Were you aware there's like 150 of these so-called Amityville movies?
I don't know why,
Especially
but
that-
yeah, there's a lot of them.
Yeah, my favorite, unsurprisingly, is have you heard of Amityville in the Hood?
No, but I'm
That sounds funny.
unsurprised by that title.
Yeah, you should.
I
have known just
mean,
by how it
if it
starts.
works for
with Amityville and
Leprechaun.
something else in the second word.
I'm shocked it's in the hood and not in the hood.
Yeah.
True.
Missed
the Leopard
We will
opportunity.
warn you about that. if
So
you
you're
put
saying
that in
you're saying I
your
should
list.
add that to my watch list?
I mean, if it's 2016,
It's
but,
not 2016.
Oh.
But
Which one are you
but
talking
eventually,
about?
eventually I will be doing my 2021 list. Have you seen Amityville in the Hood? Is it something that I should care about, or is it something like? Here's the thing. The reason why I was doing a lot of these 2016 watch-alongs off stream, as in watching. It's not even a watch-along if it's off stream. I mean, is because a lot of the things that make it onto my list, and I try to get. I literally for every year list, I try to watch literally everything that's on my watch list. A lot of these things are not worth like watching past the first 10 minutes. That Amityville Terror is one of them, where it's like, okay, the opening scene was kind of funny, and then just like insanely boring. Like, not you feel free to watch it if you want to confirm,
Yeah.
but like it's like barely a movie sort of thing.
I mean, we could have warned you about this and any other Amityville movies, but I'm glad you got to see it. At least one out of the 150 Amityville titles.
Yeah, I'm gonna add Amityville in the Hood to my watch list. The trailer looks funny,
with
but
a title like that.
The problem is with a lot of these shitty horror movies is they're always done on such a low budget that, you know, the positive side is you get to see some really funny bad effects and just poor filmmaking. But the negative is a lot of it's just talking, and a lot of it's like they're just killing time. They're just wasting time to try and make it so
Yeah,
that
because that's the cheapest thing you can shoot.
Yeah.
It's just people talking.
Not to
and then
mention
the
most of these
dialogue's
things
not
like
good. And if it's not like
Amityville,
if it's not
Exorcist,
funny
and
bad
Shark
dialogue,
Movie.
then who cares?
Not to
Put it
mention
on
these
the
movies
poll.
always get straight to Tubi, and most of them are get like Tubi originals
Yeah,
just because
exactly.
there's content in their channel.
Tubi is hilarious. Just what the quality of films on there are.
But it's free, so people.
Isn't
But it's
like the newest Cool Cat on there or some shit?
Oh my god, really? Is it?
Or not the newest one, but like the original Cool Cat.
The
Saves
director's
Kids is
cut.
on
I was already
Tubi.
aware that it was already on Tubi anyway.
The
so
spiteful director's cut.
yeah.
Yeah, that was still fucking insane. Just the way he edited that guy out.
Yeah, so as I mentioned in my update video, there's, you know, a lot of stuff going on right now. I'm kind of busy, but I think in terms of like passion project things that I want to like work on, obviously there's some like huge ones that are on the back burner that I need to get back to. But I think I want to kind of like ease my way back into things and know that because I have so much shit that I'm trying to do in the next like couple months and moving and everything. Like I'm wondering if I could just I bet I could make like, you know, another Cool Cat one, cuz so much has happened since the last one. And it doesn't need to be like a super deep dive, like it doesn't need to be like a like entire history of Daddy Derek, like I can just mention things, but The Virus Wars was a funny enough movie and there's clips in it that I
was pretty
want to
funny,
show that like I think it would be good. And then the Ninja movie, like that could be a fun video.
You could almost
Ninja
put
was
it
like
Is the
that.
Ninja movie as on par as Cool Cat?
The Ninja movie was absolute like auditory aids.
Yeah.
My ears were going to start
Unbearable.
bleeding.
Yeah,
Did
you
that
could
come out-
do
It was
like
unbearable. The whole movie was a commercial.
yeah, you could do
I
like
thought
the
it was-
Ninja movie, like amusement, where it's just like a really bad movie that you shouldn't really watch on your own, but like the video quality is probably like
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting enough subject, and she's also just literally Daddy Derek. So-
You could
Imagine
almost tie the two
getting
videos together.
Imagine getting famous because you wrote like a fucking super racist song that went viral once, and then like it's
just
like,
leaning
okay,
into
this
it
is just my
forever.
career.
Yeah.
This
She
is the
also
closest
Um,
thing to success I have.
Nama,
she also-
your hand is up. Nama, what's up?
First of all, sorry, my voice is a bit
Oh,
fucked
no
up. I'm
worries.
sick. But
don't worry.
It's all good.
I wanted to ask, do you know at all if you're going to TwitchCon or?
I have never gone to TwitchCon, and I don't have plans to do it, but maybe one day, if someone reminds me with enough time in advance and I don't have a lot of other things in my life going on, then I could maybe plan for one.
Is there
I'm
one
assuming
in
it's
Canada?
coming up
That's what you're
soon.
asking?
Yeah, there's no way I could do that in
Yeah.
September 20th, but
Also, I was curious because you were talking about like disturbing movies earlier.
Mhm.
If you've ever seen I Spit on Your Grave, like the original.
I have not seen the original I Spit on Your Grave. I would like to.
Okay. Okay.
That's Wes Craven, right?
Not the West.
No.
It's like
I
the
remember
No,
it's
it
the one
an
that had a
Israeli
poster that
director, I think.
was
I don't
by
remember his name right now.
Let's see. What year is it?
Yeah,
1978.
1978.
The one that had the Demi Moore butt shot. Demi Moore butt shot.
Oh, that's funny. I'm confusing it with a different movie. Yeah, but I haven't seen it. I haven't seen I Spit on Your Grave.
Yeah.
The
I think you must have
1978?
confused it. Yeah.
Yeah,
It also
I just think it would be like really interesting. I think like the Ebert review kind of like misses a lot of points. It's really interesting also seeing like a lot of feminists
to
initially
believe.
hated the movies, but later on like came around and actually recognized it as a feminist movie. I just think it's like really interesting
Okay,
on that
cool.
angle. But
Yeah, I've
it's
added it
also
to my watch
apparently
list. Thank you.
it also apparently has the title called Day of the Woman or
That's
Day of the
funny.
Women. Yeah.
yeah, the
Great
director prefers that one. He like
name.
insisted that that would be put on all releases of it later. So
That's interesting.
Yeah, I'll watch it for
I
sure.
also believe that they did a Halloween 2018 where they did a direct sequel to the 1978 one called I Spit on Your Grave Redux.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, and it's 2 hours and 30 minutes long. for
Oh,
some
really?
reason.
Wow.
I think
Yeah.
there was like there was a remake of I Spit on Your Grave too in 2011. And it was
2010.
Yeah.
2010, yeah. It was
Sounds
nothing
about
but
right.
torture
I
porn.
heard something about something called I Spit Chew on Your Grave, but I don't know
That
what that is.
Yeah, that I
Oh,
Spit
yeah,
Chew on Your
that's-
Grave is like a terrible. It's like old like trauma film type stuff where it's just like, okay, it's just some friends basically
I assume you
making a
could find that
video,
on
but they
Tubi,
call it a
right?
movie.
I spit. I chew on your grave, whatever it's called.
What about it?
I'm pretty sure you can find that on Tubi too, right?
I wonder. I don't
spit
know.
chew on your grave.
Yeah, that movie was dumb fun for me.
I will just
it was
I will just say about
Sure, go for it.
sorry. Just the original, it's like very tough to begin with, but I'd say it's kind of worth sticking with, if that makes sense.
Sure.
So just I don't know. I remember it
What do you
felt
mean by
like
tough? Like
maybe
slow or like disturbing?
that it feels like
Probably
it might just be
both.
going for like kind of shock factor, but I think
Okay.
it has more to offer, so I think it's worth sticking with through that.
Okay.
Just
film-
imagine the beginning was the irreversible scene in the tunnel.
Yeah.
If you could think about
Kinda,
it.
yeah.
Well, the whole film also doesn't have like a score. Like the whole movie doesn't have any music in it. There's completely
Mhm.
no score.
Same.
Could make it more interesting.
I like when movies do that.
It was
Quiet
banned
Place
in
should have
Canada.
done that.
It was banned in Canada until the 90s, and then they allowed the provinces to decide, and only 3 have allowed it for purchase.
Weird.
Only Manitoba, Nova Scotia, and Quebec.
Oh.
I'm assuming it was like a video nasty back in the 80s when it was being distributed.
Oh yeah, in the UK, yeah, it was banned as a video nasty.
Yeah.
I just left a second ago. What are you guys talking about?
We were talking about the original I Spit on Your Grave. Are you familiar with that?
I'm familiar with it, but I've never seen it.
I haven't heard of it until now.
I know a lot about movies, so there's like, if someone tells me a title, I'll probably like, yep, I probably heard of it. I'm like the most movie savvy person in my entire family.
Mm-hmm.
Same here.
Same.
I was on vacation. Actually, funny story. Recently I was on vacation and I decided like for a family movie night I was going to show my family Hundreds of Beavers because I was like, maybe I want to see more people to see this as possible. And some
Neat.
people enjoyed it, but there was like, sadly my grandma did not enjoy it at all. Like I was, she was just not into it, unfortunately. And I think she had to walk out at a certain scene because she didn't like it.
Which
Boomer.
scene? Which scene?
I think I can
Funny
guess
because you
which
think a movie
scene.
that has a lot of Looney Tunes / silent film elements. You think that she
Yeah.
probably with a little twist to it.
Yeah, but she's not huge into violence.
I mean, it's more adult than like old 30 shit.
Yeah.
It's very
Well, it's not
gory.
like
There's
the
like
old school
sexual
Looney Tunes.
shit.
I mean, so did Looney Tunes. If that's what
The problem is that she's very picky about what movies she likes. She's mostly into like just Christian crap, honestly. Like she watches a lot of Christian stuff. Like she maybe watches one Christian movie about, and the whole message was just, hey, don't. It's just like, hey guys, be Christian, you'll be good. You if you're atheist, you're bad. And it was like I felt like really sad watching it because I'm like, this is what she believes in.
What was it? God's Not
God
Dead
Not
or some
Dead?
shit?
I actually no, it was a different one, but it was not
War
God's.
Room.
I don't even know what I don't
Everything
remember
is
the name
for
of it.
real?
It was a different one. I don't even remember the title. It was one that was on Amazon for some reason, but I can't remember
Oh
the title
no,
of
are you
it.
talking about one of the films that's under Angel Studios?
It might have been.
It would have been God's Not Dead. That's the thing.
BC, your hand is up. What's up?
Well, I was going to show some physical media I have. I'm going to turn my camera
Okay,
on
sure.
for a sec because well, recently I got Zone of Interest in 4K.
Same.
I finally got one.
Nice.
I'm glad it finally got
came here.
released.
Yeah, I'm glad I got it released too, and I also got another piece of physical media. I got that Ctica New York box set with the 4K. I figured it was on sale on Prime Day, so I purchased myself one of those, and I'm really proud of myself for getting them. They seemed like good values when I got them. So
Yeah, there's
that
some
was
good
nice.
stuff on there too.
Does
Well,
that
like-
have the
Call Me by
Does
Your
that have
Name?
Call Me by Your name
Yeah,
on
it
there?
does.
Yes, it
Okay.
does.
Yeah, that's the only way to get a 4K of it.
Okay.
Really now? God damn it! I hate that.
It's
I don't really
Sony.
think there's a point, honestly, for 4K of Schenectady, New York, because I could just walk outside and there, boom. I'm
No,
in Schenectady.
you're wrong.
What?
Actually,
Am I
quick question, BC. Not
1080p New York?
You were gonna say something, Jay?
Yeah, quick question, BC, and not to downplay you and your grandma, but I know she watches a lot of Christian movies, but has she at least delved into like more deeper Christian films, like say, The Last Temptation of Christ and whatnot? You know, films that are
No,
more well
unfortunately,
received or not?
no. It's like it has to be sappy, happy Christian stuff. It cannot be depressing Christian stuff, and then she won't watch it. Unfortunately.
What about Sister
Not
Act? What about like the cool Christian movies?
Yeah, there is
Passion of the
Sister Act.
Christ.
Passion.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think she likes Passion of the Christ because it's really violent, though. So I don't know if she
Yeah.
likes that. It's just that like she's just really into that kind of stuff, which is like on one hand I'm not surprised given her age. I'm not trying to offend her or anything. I still love her ultimately, but like it is. I just wish she had more. I do kind of wish she had different movie taste than just like whatever Christian stuff. But although she did like I did show her Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, and she enjoyed that at least.
Good.
So
That's a great movie.
at least she has
That's a good
some
one.
good taste. But I there's just certain movies I just cannot show her.
Not
Like,
Sounds like my
everybody's into
mom.
violence. Not everybody likes gore.
So you're saying
Yeah.
your grandma
Nico,
is less smoke and is more into
one last thing. Oh wait,
Christianity.
sorry. If I could just ask BC, do you know if that like 4K Synecdoche is that available in other regions, or is it no? It's UK. It's US.
4K UHD is region free unless
It's region free,
Yeah.
so you could if you order it from US, it gets to the UK. You should still be able to play it normally.
Yeah, there's
Oh,
there's a very
it's right here.
there's a very small amount of 4K UHD Blu-rays that are not region free, and they're not supposed to be region locked. So there's
Well,
like there's like
uh,
10 that exist out of the catalog of every 4K UHD film that that's region locked, but they're not supposed to be.
I got
Oh,
it by itself. I didn't even get the box set.
Nice.
Fucking
eBay.
love
I can
region
have it.
locking.
Yeah. Lucky.
I'm saving up for like a 4K TV
Nice.
at some point.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna see if I can find the. Would that be available on Amazon UK? The box that you got, BC.
I think it should be. I mean, I could be wrong, but it'll probably.
You
be
can
available on Amazon.
access Amazons from other countries, and then depending on
I
the
know.
seller, you can just have it shipped to you.
Cool. Yeah.
Aren't the
it's
shipping
tolerable.
fees for international shipping a bit more pricey than just shipping it in your state?
Yes.
Because that's what happened when I was looking at other
But if you
Amazon
you can compare prices, and if it is listed on Amazon.co.uk, that might be an import anyway. So just you compare the prices and
Well,
see
it-
if.
So it's a box set with "Call Me by Your Name" and other films or something.
Yeah, I'll give you the list of all the films that are on here. It's Ctica New
Cool.
York, obviously. Volver from I forget his name. The Celluloid Closet, SLC Punk. Call Me by
Oh,
Your
that
Name.
thing that James Somerton ripped off.
Oh, which one?
The Celluloid Closet.
Oh, okay. There you go. Still Alice, The Devil's Backbone by Guillermo del Toro, Couching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Run Lola Run, The City of Lost Children, and Orlando. And there might be one more I'm missing, but that's all. Actually,
That's a
let me
good
see.
catalog.
That's good.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
it's not a bad
amazing.
catalog
Yeah, there's
at
not. It's
all.
not just only Synecdoche that's good on there. So
Did
Cool.
they ever
Wow.
make a
Adam, you don't
4K
have
for
this,
sale?
right?
I do have it.
Oh, you have
God
the box
damn.
set? Awesome.
I do.
Is it on 4K?
I would've
Yes.
figured.
Yeah. Where did you find that specific one, Lars? Is there a way to find it on Amazon, or is it like a big? How are all those films
I'll be right
connected?
back.
Are they?
They're all for the same distributor,
By the
Sony
same
Pictures
company.
Classic.
Okay, cool. All right.
It's
Let's see
part.
if I
It's
can...
part. It's part of their the Sony Pictures Classic 30th Anniversary Collection. That's what you need to
Oh.
look up if you're looking for it.
Sony Pictures Classic. Thank you so much.
No, there isn't.
Yeah.
It is super obnoxious that they didn't like release them individually.
Yeah, it's
Except
it's
so
$150.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon was released separately, but the rest weren't. So that's really annoying.
I mean,
Oh my
150
god!
for
Yeah,
all
it is
Lame.
incredibly expensive
doesn't
though.
seem
Like,
too bad.
yeah,
I got it
it's-
for 100. I got it for $120 because it was on sale. So that's why I chose it, because it was like this is the lowest it's gonna get. So I figured
Yeah,
why not?
well,
And they're all
yeah,
movies
the-
I wanted to watch at some point anyway. So it was a good purchase for me. Yeah. I'm still honestly kind of shocked that we got Zone of Interest in 4K, because I was like expecting them just not do any kind of Blu-ray whatsoever. But the fact that we got one and on the A24 website was cool. I'm trying to think what else. I kind of stopped collecting physical media for a while just because I've been needing to save money and stuff. But I figured these two purchases, these were movies I wanted to own physically, so this seemed
Yeah.
like a good purchase in my opinion. Didn't help the fact that crap, I was gonna say something. Now I forgot.
Nico, your hand's up. What's up?
I'm just curious if you'll ever do like your usual Blu-ray 4K collection like you did 4 years ago.
Yeah, but I don't know when.
Okay.
How
And
about
I
when you
just-
reach another milestone? How about when you reach another milestone?
Maybe.
And I just want to say that the
There's
Billie
anything I
Eilish
can
song,
do.
"What Was I Made For?" I thought I actually enjoyed it, and I was just wondering what your original thoughts were on it. Still,
It's just kind of forgettable. It just sounds like another Billie Eilish song. It's not
what do you
bad.
think of her?
It's just like it didn't deserve the Oscar.
It's not bad.
It's
It
not the
didn't
best
deserve
song in the
Oscar.
movie, if you ask me.
I
It's
actually
utterly
enjoyed it.
replaceable. Like there's
Yeah.
plenty more songs that could be in that scene.
You can't put "This Is Ken" or "I'm Just Ken" into like any other movie.
Yeah.
I
I'm
actually
just
enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it
hot
as
take.
well. I enjoyed it as well, but it's just not my favorite.
And
And I could
what do you think of Billie Eilish as an artist?
I like some of her songs. I don't have any strong opinions on her. The only reason I have some criticism, I guess, is just the fact that like the Oscars keep keep putting her there.
Yeah, just slap your fucking song at the end of a movie.
Yeah.
Boom,
Any
you won an award.
anytime there's like a famous pop artist who like does a song for a big movie, it always gets nominated for an Oscar. I'm pretty sure the entire reason the Flamin' Hot Cheetah movie song got nominated was just because of nepotism, of like the fact that the songwriter has always been nominated for an Oscar ever since
Diane
it began
Warren.
Yeah, she has like 20 nominations.
Diane Warren.
Also,
Yes.
every time I see Billie Eilish and his husband, I keep reminding of the relationship from Amy Winehouse. Like, there's something up with her and her partner-in-law.
I think they're brother and sister.
Oh, they're brother and sister.
They're siblings, actually.
There's
But they do fuck.
I thought
didn't
Billie
know
Eilish.
that.
I thought Billie Eilish was LGBTQ though. I don't, or at least that's what I
Yeah,
got. The
Billie is
impression of.
bi.
Yeah.
Ah. Yeah, I figured that was the case.
You can't spell Billy.
Yeah, the reason why I
without
say
bi.
Amy Winehouse is because I do know Amy Winehouse and her once husband had a very intense relationship before she died. Especially that she had like very powerful lyricism and creative process.
I was one of my favorite like late 90s R&B bops is "Are You That Somebody" by Aaliyah. And I looked this up the other day, and it was created for the Dr. Dolittle soundtrack. And I didn't know that before.
That's crazy.
Isn't that fun? So
I love
That's awesome.
that's something that I realized is like the late 90s. The late 90s was a great time for like movie song tie-ins.
Yeah.
Like the entire Space Jam soundtrack that had like so many hits. That was like one of the best-selling albums ever.
Yeah,
And
I
all
mean,
those
80s and
songs were
90s
written
for
like
sure.
original for the film. It was just like it was considered to be like a part of the marketing at one point, you know, like Charlie's Angels, Destiny's Child, and like there's so many examples in the late 90s where it just seemed like they were putting so much more effort into like having a hit song be a part of the promotion process for a film.
Yeah, I'm glad they did that with Barbie though.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
liked it.
Yeah,
100%.
somewhat.
It felt nice for Barbie to have like a bunch of songs and stuff. I just want to know what's going to get nominated for us. Actually, it's too early to speculate about like what's going to get nominated for an Oscar when it's like well ahead of time. Honestly, when there's way more stuff to focus on.
Yeah,
so
what's going to get
maybe-
nominated for Oscars this year? Or I guess like
assume
at the end
challenges will
next
be
year.
We're only
maybe?
like halfway through the year. So.
Yeah,
we have a lot of we have
better.
way
Probably
better.
challengers.
Well, I'm
I think
hoping
it's
I'm
gonna be
hoping
his
Oscars,
other
it
film that's coming
doesn't.
out this year. I think it's gonna. He has like another movie coming out called Queer.
Oh
I
yeah.
think
Ooh.
that's good. I thought that
Oh,
wasn't
yeah,
gonna come out till
right,
next
that's
year.
right.
premiering
but
at
it's finally
that's
coming out this
premiering
year.
at Queer's premiering at Venice, so there's a good chance it premieres it shows at TIFF as well. So we'll see how that goes.
Here's the
I'm pretty
question.
sure.
Is Joker 2 going to get the Joker award at Venice?
Oh, wouldn't that be
Probably
funny?
Time is my guess.
No, Adam.
Well, the first movie
Joker
got it.
That's
I
why
don't
it's called
want
the
it
Joker
to, Adam.
Award.
That's what we call the
Well-
golden whatever now, is the
The
Joker award.
golden clown.
Lion was it?
I think Lion is Berlin.
I think it's Lion. I think it's actually
Is it Lion?
Lion.
What's Berlin's?
Berlin? I know it's not Lion.
Is it the
Let's
Golden
see.
Bear?
It's the Golden Schnitzel.
The lion.
Yummy.
Lion.
Oh yeah, one of them's bear, one of them's lion.
Yeah, Venice is lion.
Yeah. Okay.
Berlin is bear.
So I think it's easier to differentiate if we just call Venice's award the Joker award from now on.
The Joker award.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I'm
Still,
down.
Adam, the queer movie by Luca Guadagnino, I think
So-
based off of was written by the same person that did
Yeah,
Nickel
Justin
Lunch, which turned out-
Kuritzkis. It's
Yeah.
it's written by the Potion Seller.
Potion.
Yep.
Seller.
Which
Yeah.
is
or adapted
fucking
by
rad.
the Potion Seller. And it's got Daniel Craig. I like the idea of putting Daniel Craig in a movie called Queer.
Wait, he's writing for that movie too?
Yeah, Justin.
Yeah.
But it's
Nice.
based off of a William S.
Sick.
Burroughs novel.
Yeah.
So
Luca's
I
going
mean,
crazy this year.
The
It's going to
dialogue,
be cool. Sounds cool.
the dialogue at Challengers was great, so I think he would do really good with really any movie like that.
Yeah, he'll do good.
What
It'll
if
be great. I
what if
think.
Luca wins 2 Best Pictures in 1 year?
That'd be sick. Has anyone ever done that?
I don't think it's possible because there's only one Best
Actually,
Picture.
like,
Not possible.
I mean,
closest
back in the late, very first Oscar ceremonies, they used to give out 2 Best Picture winners. So
I mean,
Really?
is it possible to
Yeah.
even get nominated? Like
He
two
could get-
movies nominated for Best Picture.
He could get 2 Best Picture Golden Globes.
yeah, that he
True.
could do that. He could do
That's true.
that.
I
Yeah.
think anybody cares about the Golden Globes.
Nobody
anymore.
cares, I know.
Nobody gives a
but
shit.
Yeah. Who
so
cares?
I'm hoping that Challengers gets a cinematography nom at the very least.
It
Yeah,
should.
deserves
That'd
it.
be awesome.
It's
That would be
I
insane
would
if
like
it
that
didn't.
as well. It's
That movie was
It's-
so
I-
intense. My fucking back was hurting after
the
watching
only
it.
the only Oscar nomination that I can guarantee, the only 2 Oscar nominations that I think are 100% guaranteed. Inside Out 2 will get a Best Animated Feature nom because it's Pixar, and I also
Ooh.
think that
It'll
Dune Part 2
probably
is going to
win.
get Best Visual Effects.
Inside Out 2 is going to get Best Visual
Dune Part
Effects.
2 will get Best.
Dune
no,
Part
it's
2.
Dune Part 2.
You're cutting out a little, so.
Is
Oh,
anyone
I'm sorry.
surprised that Inside Out 2 is considered like the #1 highest grossing anime film of all time?
It's
now?
not.
It's not.
It's not.
The
It's
Lion
not.
King 2019 is.
If you read it, if you read an article that said
Oh
that, it's because they're
God.
pretending The Lion King 2019 is live action.
Oh, yeah, that one. It's just now it's like the highest.
But
grossing
it's looking like it might beat it, though. So we'll be able to say that
Honestly-
soon enough. I think.
Honestly, I'll as much inside that I got problems with, but I'd actually be happy without taking over Lion King. To be perfectly honest,
Without having seen Inside Out 2, it's probably a better film than The Lion King 2019.
you're guaranteed.
I'm sure it is.
I doubt you're gonna like Inside Out 2 that much, Adam. But whenever you get the chance to, most likely around Oscar time, you'll guarantee to like it more
Yeah,
than
fuck,
Elemental.
I guess
Because
I'll have
at
to
least
watch it. Damn. It's gonna get an
Even
Oscar now.
Elemental doesn't come close to like Lion King 2019 level shit. Like it's
Yeah.
so. Lion King 2019 is like the perfect
Insulting.
storm of bad. Like it's insane how
It's
awful
maybe
it
the worst
is.
movie ever made.
It's the inverse
Just by
synecdoche. The more
international-
layers you peel back, the more rotten it is inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. John Oliver as Zazu. Can't go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
What
Count
I
the
meant
out.
was.
So why
And I
can't
assume the part 2 of your Lion King video is also going to be put on hold because of your update, whatever you said.
It's been on hold for a while, and the update is a part of me trying to make changes so that I can get back to things like that.
So why call it the Joker Award? I'm just curious.
Because Joker won the award.
Yeah. It's the Joker Award.
And the fact that Joker was at Venice Film Festival and it won the top prize is so funny to me that I feel like they should rename their award.
It is pretty
Do you
funny.
think the award now, instead of being the lion, should be just a clown face?
No, it should just be the Joker Award and just have like, I don't know. Just have the Joker baby as a
The Joker baby trophy.
Yeah.
Drew Russell on a trophy.
Yeah, that would be the best award. Oh my god.
Was there a Drew
Why don't we
Russell
start an
reference in the-
awards show called the Joker Awards? And it's just like a normal award show, but we just call it that for no reason.
And then we give the award to Parasite and watch someone get mad.
It'll be the 4th biggest award show in like 4 years.
Yeah. Next to
Fifth,
420.
it's no way it would get as big as like 420 awards.
I mean, if I did an awards show ever, it would be guaranteed to be more successful than the 420 awards.
Wow.
Damn.
He just stopped.
Yeah.
Like he didn't
You're-
post this year's one either, so I don't know if it's still happening even.
Adam, you're never.
Oh
getting
yeah,
a
you're
block.
right.
Probably
That never
giving
came
up.
out. What is going on?
Rest in
He just keeps
peace.
pretending he's making them and then doesn't update.
He's just never making them again. Probably because he realized he can't get fucking money out of this.
Yeah, I mean, if my reactions were getting demonetized, I can only imagine his videos also were. Not like he would be making much off those anyway, but
I still can't believe Derek banned your Safe for Work furry account.
That's funny, yeah.
That's funny. So I was actually looking at more Venice stuff. I just remembered the new Harmony Korean Baby
Yes,
Invasion's gonna be
Baby
at,
Invasion. Yeah. Yeah.
It's funny, like, that this is just what he does now. Because he's
It's-
working with
it's interesting.
Edgelord again. And so it's
Edgelord.
just going to be a bunch of, like, AI nonsense, but, like, it's Harmony Korean, so it's funny.
Oh yeah, speaking of Harmony Korean, I did notice that they got Gummo to be in the Criterion collection, which is
In 4K, I think, too.
And on
Criterion
4K, yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. I'll definitely buy that. I really hope they do like a Criterion for Possession 1981 at some point, because that needs a physical copy at some point.
You know,
That a
you know what's
4K
a
exists
movie?
of that now.
It does,
Oh.
and it was very limited. It's like 1,500.
I have
or
one.
something.
Oh,
Oh, really?
goddamn.
I do.
I have a
Yeah.
regular Blu-ray, which was expensive, but not a 4K.
Yeah, it's only in Australia, but 4Ks are region free.
Yeah, Possession was so good, I could rewatch that at any point.
I saw Possession in a theater last year, and it was an interesting experience because a lot of moments the audience was like laughing at the movie.
Sure.
And it's just like something. Possession is like a movie where I watch it by myself, and I'm kind of petrified by some of the performances, and to see people laughing at it, it's just like what a wild experience it was for
Horror
me.
movie crowds can be not great.
Yeah,
Because a
yeah.
lot of people will be expecting to see something like really standard, and then, if you do something challenging, then it's not.
Yeah, it's too bad it's getting a remake though by the director of Smile.
Is it really
It,
getting a
it
remake?
really is from the director of
Yeah.
Smile, which means it's
Oh,
going to be
wonderful.
fucking.
Oh,
Makes me think,
I
how
mean,
the hell are they gonna do it with,
remaking
like,
it
the-
all means it's going to be terrible, but like this means it's going to be extra terrible.
I
I'm
mean,
just
Oh,
curious about
no.
how he's gonna handle the train scene and how they're gonna do with the monsters.
It
It's probably gonna
doesn't.
be like a lot of special effects or CGI.
It'll be
It's,
very
it's
tame.
not even worth
director-
speculating on.
The
It'll
only
be
director
very
that
tame.
I would care for a remake would be like Luca Guadagnino, but
Oh yeah, he could do it, but the original doesn't have anything to improve on, really. So
exactly.
Yeah, and also the remake is useless because the original took place after the Berlin Wall was destroyed. So what's the point?
Yeah,
it
it's
was
very
all based on the
thematic.
first original.
Nama, your hand was up earlier. I didn't know if you wanted to say another.
It doesn't really matter as much. I am curious though, for anyone here that watched Beau is Afraid, the whole thing you said about Travis, you said about like the people laughing at stuff that you
Mhm.
think is horrifying. I super felt that in Beau is Afraid. I don't know if I'm like secretly autistic and I don't know or something. I did not get what was funny about that movie.
I thought Beau
yeah.
is Afraid had like definitely a comedic tone throughout much of it, because
Yeah,
I think
like,
I
the
think like
first
the
hour.
ridiculousness of it and the juxtaposed nature with like, sure, the soundtrack was serious, but I think that it was like kind of ironic in that
Mhm.
sense,
But
kind of like
Beau's
When the whole movie was
humor
like
as well.
bleak to begin with, so you're not
Beau's
sure
a
which to laugh and which one is supposed to be taken seriously.
I just feel like even the scene that was really clearly over the top, like the thing where he finds his dad, like his acting to it was so clearly horrified that even though it's like a funny visual, I can't laugh at it because of how good like Joaquin Phoenix was at playing like a really scared person.
It's a movie that you're guaranteed to get a different reaction out of like any person
Yeah.
in an audience. That's one of the reasons why I love it so much. It's my favorite Aster film.
Wow. Does it have a 4K?
Yes, it does. Does
Wait,
have a
it
4K.
Oh, it does. I thought.
It's like a German Blu-ray or something.
Germany.
It's not.
Always.
It's not the U.S.
It's always.
I could've
Germany.
seen- I've been noticing H. I've been noticing H. Oh.
You were saying?
Okay, I was saying I've been noticing A24 recently. Yeah, I just showed my Zone of Interest 4K. They've been doing a lot of their Blu-rays like on their website only for a lot of their recent films, like Love Lies Bleeding and I Saw TV Glow both got are getting Blu-rays, but only on their website.
Oh, Love Lies Bleeding, awesome! I'm
Yeah,
totally gonna get that one.
There's no 4K of TV Glow, which makes me kind of
That's a little
sad.
disappointing.
Yeah.
I like TV.
Oh, so I'm pretty sure most
I
of
love TV
A24's
Glow.
official Blu-ray disc, they don't have special features either, which I suppose for the Zone of Interest, that also doesn't have the special features either.
It does have special features. It does have special features on the Zone of Interest 4K and Blu-ray that exists. So there are special. Apparently, a documentary that was made specifically for about the guy that the film's based on is on the Zone of Interest 4K. So I haven't watched it
because I know the last man
That's cool.
The Last Black Man in San Francisco does not have special features. It's just a straight up feature Blu-ray.
Well, actually, I got the Midsummer director's
I have
cut
that as
Blu-ray.
well.
I was gonna say, is
But
it still this
here's the
that size?
here's the thing with those Blu-rays, they give you special features, but only digitally.
Oh.
Like so you have to
Oh,
so you
really?
have to make like an A24 account,
That's
and
annoying.
it will
Oh yeah,
all of
they've
your
been doing that
purchases
recently, and
will be
I actually had an
digital.
account when I was doing
That's
like
so weird.
It's
I
weird.
bought that
It's
for like
really
the
weird.
early episodes of I'm not gonna say, but let's just say that's where they had all the special features for it.
Yeah.
Jamie,
Yes.
your hand is up.
I wanted to talk about since we were talking about movie experiences, one really weird experience that I had watching a film was when I saw Killers of the Flower Moon with my friend We saw it in IMAX because if you're gonna watch a movie for 3 hours, it might as well be in a comfortable chair with good sound.
Mm-hmm.
And it was loaded with a lot of like, I assume like a lot of people in their 60s, and I assume it's because of the director Martin Scorsese, because he's just very widely known and a lot of people like his stuff. But they laughed a lot during it, and I could understand laughing in a movie like Beau is Afraid or horror movies where something is so shocking that your response is to laugh. But nothing really I found in Killer's Flower Moon was funny, and I guess maybe some of the scenes where they were supposed to be seen as pathetic, and I could see a couple scenes that were sort of comedic, but it was mostly scenes that were um like the depictions of abuse
Yeah.
that I find like a lot of people were just kind of joking and talking during it. And it wasn't. I also had that.
Like that.
It kind of happened as well when I saw the we were talking about that film that got nominated for international film last year, or won international film last year.
What was it?
What's it? The one in the
Anatomy of a Fall.
Zone of Interest.
Zone of Interest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Anatomy of a Fall didn't get nominated, but I would have loved if it did. But Zone of Interest, a lot of people were laughing during that film as well, and I don't know why.
People were
That's-
laughing during Zone
Yes,
of Interest.
That's fun.
You
Yes!
probably had the worst audience ever.
That doesn't make sense.
That's-
Nothing
that's-
funny happens in that movie.
That's
Was
Was
it
it like
literally
a West crowd? Because
disrespectful.
it sounded like if you were laughing at the Holocaust movie, you had to be somewhere in the Midwest or something. With
I
no
live
taste
in New
whatsoever.
York.
What? It took place in New York? That's even more fun.
Yeah, it's so confusing. They were laughing at so many of like the awful scenes, and it's just again, you can make somewhat of an argument of why because it's disturbing, but like they were.
Is
talking...
it a demographic problem where like most of them were probably had never heard of the Holocaust before?
I mean, New York
I
has a
think
gigantic Jewish population, so probably not.
It's New York. It's the United States. Everybody fucking knows about the Holocaust here.
Especially in New York.
There's
It might be
nobody
like-
in this country who doesn't know that's not like a 4-year-old.
It might
Why
be
am I
more of
imagining
like
that
a
the
it's so
whole audience that you
disturbing
had
that people
was-
feel uncomfortable, so they
That's
laugh.
what I might have. That's what I thought. But
What?
some of the scenes were of like nothing really happening that was disturbing, and they were just talking during it. and
Probably
it
they
was
were
just-
expecting a movie that wasn't like a slow art house thing.
Yeah.
What I feel like your audience there was probably nothing but a bunch of Gen Zs who didn't know what to do.
Maybe
They probably never understand the Holocaust, let alone slow movies like
Well,
this.
I didn't
It
even like
was-
Zone of Interest, but what the fuck?
It was when it got nominated. So I was
Yeah.
there to watch that, and then I was also going to watch American Fiction on the same day. So I assumed that other people were doing the same thing, probably.
Yeah, just going through the noms.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
guess that's just kind of what happens when you go with
Yeah.
other people who want to just see movies like that.
It's
You
it's
get,
one of
like-
those things that you can't really help. Well, I mean, like,
Yeah.
if someone's like chatting during the movie, that's a big no-no.
Yeah.
But if someone finds something funny, it would be hypocritical of me to try and police people's reactions just because my reaction isn't the same. Because I find many things funny that nobody else finds funny in a theater.
Yeah.
And sometimes
No.
I can't help, like, during the fucking trap, like, there were like 9 different parts where I actually laughed. I couldn't help
It's
it.
just
I couldn't help it.
at the Holocaust is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Kind of
Yeah, a
sus.
lot.
Unless-
Regardless, like,
I mean, it's the same thing of people laughing at 9/11 because at this point, everyone knows about 9/11 and everyone jokes about it, especially during like the early internet days when everyone was making fun of it.
What if they're
But-
just people who are?
a bit of a
What if they're just people who
There's,
are
like-
unburdened by what has been?
there might be a bit of a difference also because like if you're American and you laugh at 9/11, there's like some understanding of your like the group that experienced it, whereas like if you're not Jewish and you laugh at the Holocaust, it feels a little different. Like
Mhm.
I feel like we're in an area of what the? I'm sorry, I got a notification that came out of nowhere. Anyways, as I was saying, what I've been noticing on the internet recently is that we react to historical events with quick accuracy, and sometimes we just forget about within a week. The fact that last month Trump
Like
tried
Trump getting shot.
yeah, and the only impact we got out of it, Tenacious D broke up. That's literally the only impact that Trump is getting shot caused. That's which I find like just so weird in this day and age, honestly.
Yeah, rip Tenacious D, I guess.
I mean, it would have had more of an impact if it was like somebody who was politically like on the left shooting him. But it's like, okay, so like a far right person using a gun that everybody on the left doesn't think he should be allowed to have anyway shot him at his own rally. There's not really as much like political leverage out of that, so it kind of just dissipated.
I just find it crazy that the shooter had an almost accuracy of hitting the target, but by just slightly tilting his head, especially during the animation demonstration, he was slightly off of getting the target right.
It's just the killer. It's literally just the killer.
Oh yeah, people were posting that clip. There's very
all I
few
can
days
think
where
of.
Twitter's good, and that was a good.
Check his phone.
Good day
He's
on
probably
Twitter.
listening to Smiths.
Sorry, what are you talking about?
We're just some of the memes after the Trump assassination attempt. People
yeah.
posted clips of David Fincher's The Killer and just.
Oh, I've never seen that.
Yeah, there's a part where Fassbender is like sniping and he misses. He's like, "Dang it." Nama, your hand is up. What's up?
Yeah. Also, thanks for pronouncing my name right. Everyone messes it up.
Oh, okay. No problem.
But I was curious, is there any shot you're ever gonna do like a collab with Red Letter Media? I know that's like a thing that in the past wasn't really possible, but
They follow me on Twitter, but I don't like. I get the impression that like they're not really. They don't really consider themselves to be like YouTubers as much. They're more like filmmakers. Like they have a show that they put on YouTube. And the overwhelming majority of their collaborations have been with like filmmakers and writers and things. I don't see a lot of collaborations with just people from the YouTube community, aside from like them doing, legitimate voice acting work in a show that happens to be made by YouTubers, sort of thing. So I don't want to. I don't want to like inject myself into it and like try to do that. Like if they want to invite me, they've got me on Twitter. So that would be something that, they would have to decide. And B, there's a good chunk of people in their audience that are like incredibly elitist as fuck and hate literally every other person talking about movies on the internet.
True.
really,
and if,
I feel
1000%.
I feel like I'd imagine the opposite of that actually.
No,
I feel like there's
no.
a lot more like people I know that like watch you that are like very into cinema, whereas for them there's way more like casual like cinema viewers.
It's
It
not
really
it's not
depends
about
on the
how
video.
casual they are with cinema. It's just about like how they engage with like, I guess, people as content creators or people that they watch. Red Letter Media has such a large audience, and they've got they've got a huge chunk of people that are like watching them, for the comedy and their like, jokes and filmmaking. Not to say that they don't have anything to offer with film criticism or anything, obviously, but maybe things have changed. But like the few times where I've like, I don't know, like 5 or 10 years ago or something, where I've like shown up in their comments section or anything, it would just be like overwhelmingly negative response, like "get out of here." It's like, okay,
no,
yeah, there, and I've also like there's a huge crossover between like Red Letter Media viewers and like 4chan TV board. Like obviously that's not everybody that watches like I watch Red Letter Media, but their audience is large and has some good chunk of crazies in it. And they know that. They're not even like they wouldn't even deny that.
Do you think that's partially because you've mentioned that like you take a lot of inspiration from their work and that's what you wanted to
I don't think it has anything to do with that.
Nothing to do with that?
No.
You don't think it's like out of spite because you because you.
No, I don't. I don't
like
think the
content.
average person that would be responding to me negatively in that space is a person that would even like
Watch
have
your
seen
content
my
at all.
older videos or anything. So
No. The
Also,
people who
if
hate
it
you don't watch you.
yeah,
You didn't
yeah.
You
that
don't understand the 12 principles of animation, Adam. You gotta learn it.
all I did was post. All I did was post that I gave a 3 out of 10 rating to the new Shyamalan, and someone called me a racist.
Yep.
You're always gonna get commenters like that, though.
No, there's like a good chunk of Shyamalan stands on Twitter that I forgot about.
I responded by saying, "You mad, bro?"
Shyamalan stands are funny.
Also, if it's not like too deeply political, I'm
Sure.
just curious what you think about the Destiny takes about the Trump rally shooting, because you guys were talking about the stuff.
Destiny conducts himself in ways that optically I would not, but I'm the type of person that, like, if I see someone, you know, saying something in a certain way, I don't take too much of a stake in that. Yeah, I understand the point he's making. And we all have different thresholds for like what we would want to say or how we would want to conduct ourselves like optically. But he's completely correct in the sense that like anybody that's, you know, pulling the whole you know, pretend fake concern on the right, like every single one of them has like so many receipts of them saying infinitely worse things, like Tim Pool in his comments on the Club Q shooting. Like, you can't, for him to pretend to be upset at what Destiny said about the Trump assassination, like that's just so insanely bad faith. So I completely agree on that.
Trump had the
Yeah, I
opportunity
agree. I
to
was just curious.
Trump absolutely had like the opportunity to like make his polls numbers go up after the shooting, but the fact that it didn't is testament to the fact that he fucked up by picking the couch fucker JD Vance as his VP.
I don't think it has. Well, the fact that his poll numbers weren't affected by the shooting, there was a good chunk of time between that and the VP pick. I think the takeaway is more accurately that he's not pulling anyone new in. Like, he has his base and he's maxed out. Everybody who's ever heard of Trump has already heard of Trump. He's not convincing any new people to join his cause. And for, you know, a crazy right-winger at one of his rallies using a gun that people on the left don't want him to be able to have anyway, trying to assassinate him, like that's not going to convince anyone who's not already a Trump fanatic that they should support him. So he's literally hit his peak. He's maxed out on the amount of people that he can actually, you know, get into his base. That's I think the takeaway.
That's true, but I think their angle is more so like the Secret Service didn't care to protect him from the right. I think that's where the angle they're going for to get people to join them.
I mean, I don't know how Secret Service works for like, because every former president gets their own like Secret Service, I think. And I'm pretty sure the people in his team, like, he would have some control over like who is there. Like, I don't think it was like just, I don't think Biden handpicked the people that were guarding Trump. So like, I don't know what the argument is at that point.
Yeah, my understanding is it's actually Trump is even more than other presidents or former presidents is actually like super stringent on like picking who's around him.
He's got his fanatics.
Like,
his
to an
sycophants.
extent that's like higher than other people too. So
yeah.
I'm just saying I think that's the right's argument to try to get people. Not that it's a good argument, but
Oh yeah. They have whatever narrative that they want to try and convince themselves of a certain reality, and whatever, they'll just keep saying it. Yeah, the election's really interesting now, especially with Kamala.
It's
I mean, it's been interesting for a while, but now it's like not as bleak.
Yeah.
It's been an interesting year. Yeah.
July was
I
a
just
crazy
find
month
it really
politically.
What do you
I
say?
just find it really annoying as someone who's Israeli to see the amount of people on the left that are basically anti-Kamala because of her take on Israel, as though
Mhm.
Trump would be better, is very,
Oh yeah,
very annoying.
Trump is way worse for Palestinians than.
Yeah, it's very infuriating.
Yeah. But
I mean,
I think
honestly-
a lot of people that are saying that are people that aren't gonna vote anyway. So I don't think that
Yeah,
they're
but
like
most
likely
people say
voters.
If you didn't vote, then
regardless,
why you should.
regardless of. Oh. Go ahead, Jay.
What are you trying to say?
I was gonna say that if the reason why most people won't vote, other people will say that, oh, you didn't vote it, then why didn't you vote in the first place? Because now we got our president or whatnot.
Mhm.
You know, it's like election in a nutshell about why people hate one way or another.
Yeah,
I
it's
just
like, yeah, don't get mad at like who wins or whatever because you didn't vote.
Yeah.
Honestly, I predicting like I think. Sorry. I feel like one thing I've been noticing is that JD Vance is like absolutely tanking Trump's like numbers. Like nobody likes him. Nobody. Like I genuinely don't think a single person.
I don't even
apart from
think
his
Trump
hardcore-
likes him.
Especially with women, by the way, from my understanding.
Yeah.
Which is really funny.
It's funny, and I
women
hope he's
would
stuck with
already
him. I hope he doesn't
Trump.
swap him out.
There's law.
Yeah.
I think there's a law in Delaware where like you can't replace your VP after the convention. So he apparently has to stick with them unless if JD Vance resigns himself. So he literally is stuck with them until the election.
I mean, he could probably convince JD Vance to resign if he wanted him to. But that would be funny, and I wonder, like, if that. Part of me almost feels like, oh, that might be bad optically, and it might look like he doesn't know what he's doing. Like, oh, why'd you pick a VP and then like just toss him out? But at the same time, the people voting for Trump, it's not going to matter to them. So,
no, absolutely.
So we're coming up to that time where I'm going to go through everybody in the call one by one in the order that I see them on the screen, and just ask if anybody has any final questions or comments before I end. So we'll start with Jay.
So you recently watched that the new norm for the new X sitcom thing, and I noticed there was a little thing going on with like when Daily Wire tried their own hands with comedy with Mr. Bertram. Do you think conservatives should consider themselves like not creative to do comedy, let alone the fact that their attempts at comedy seems to be not as funny, nor they are getting a lot of audience that they were hoping to?
No, I think that there are conservatives that make good comedy. They just don't brand their entire comedic identity in just, nonsense platitudes and buzzwords and talking points, right? The problem with the new norm, any one of these, issues you can still talk about and critique and comment on and do it in a comedic way. You just have to actually write a joke, which the new norm didn't. It was literally just buzzwords. It was like, oh, this character's non-binary. Like, that's it. Like
non-binary studies.
There's some artists that I like that, like, in private conversations with them, they've told me that they're conservatives, and I'm not going to say who, because like a lot of people just might freak out. I know that there's good artists that like are conservative. It's just that's not their show. Right? It's not like their show exists for the sake of art, not for the sake of propaganda, and that's really the difference.
Not to mention that the Mr. Bertram show had the same problem where it tried to be like their own take on King of the Hill, but after you make a show that has a gay character and it's basically the antagonist of the show, I'm not sure if people on Daily Wire should be writers, let alone actors, if you were to star or let alone direct in Lady Ballers. And I'm not sure how much money do you think Daily Wire will keep investing just so they can outrun other quote unquote woke companies like Netflix and Disney.
Their next film's going to theaters.
What, the Snow White?
It's called
Sound of Hope.
No, it's
Sound of
called
Hope.
Am I Racist by Matt Walsh. It's the follow. It's the
Matt.
follow up to What Is a Woman.
Oh God!
Yeah,
Don't
it's
answer-
getting
don't
some
ask
sort of a
questions you know
theatrical
the
release.
answer to already.
Actually, Adam, Daily Wire already released a theatrical film earlier this year. It was last month. They released Sound of Hope with Angel Studios.
Oh, Daily Wire was a part of that? Yeah, I mean, like, they're...
They produced it. They co-produced Sound of Hope, and from what I've been told, Sound of Hope is just like way more boring than Sound of Freedom, which is a achievement in and of itself.
Yeah.
And you don't see
Nobody's
consumers
talking
talk
about it.
Yeah, that's the thing. They use the same marketing tactics of like, hey, please see this movie to save the kids, and nobody showed up. I legit haven't seen a single person talk about Sound of Hope.
Well, guys, you fucked up.
Well, they just needed a line in the movie where some guy just says, like, now it's time to kill all the pedophiles.
Didn't have Jimmy Boy.
Yeah.
Jim Caviezel?
Yeah. All right, was that it,
Yeah,
Jay?
it wouldn't surprise me if Daily Wire's company at this point, apart from one, are probably going to get banged from not only bad investments, but also from bad production ideas from what they've been doing recently.
Mm-hmm. All right, was that it for your... okay, yeah. Thank you, Jay. Olivia, do you have anything?
Not really.
All right. Travis.
Just quick question, and we don't have to go on it for too long, but did you have a particular favorite Adam and Pals that you recorded with Scoot and Gael?
That's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I should look through the playlist.
I just watched the Congo one recently, and that was a lot of fun.
Really fun, yeah.
I've recently watched all the Twilight.
Have made
videos,
the
and I still
best
feel like
foreign
those
film
videos were probably
category
my
interesting.
favorites.
Nerve.
Yeah, 13
Nerve is
Reasons
one of my
Why
favorites.
is
I like Nerve
classic.
a
Yeah,
lot.
13 Reasons Why is a classic.
Hulk 2000. I like the Hulk 2003 one. That one's really funny in my opinion. The Hulk 2003.
Oh, Tiptoes. Tiptoes is definitely a favorite of mine
Abduction
too.
is. I'm always gonna
War.
quote Abduction.
Yeah.
That one's probably my favorite.
Yeah, 13 Reasons Why is maybe my favorite. It's like a big series. Like, the show is so stupid, and there's so many like satisfying payoffs. Killer Bean is a great one.
That one's great.
I Know Who
Killer
Killed Me.
Bean.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them. And then yeah, just the Oscars stuff, really.
Yeah, those are always
all
great.
classics. I think the 2019 Oscars, or I guess technically the 2020 Oscars for 2019 movies, that might have been my favorite like Oscars. The Parasite
That
win and
one-
everything.
That one was really great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
felt good.
It's also kind of sad that we're watching it now where Scoot got to kiss you after Parasite win. I'm going to feel like kind of grief about that when he's gone.
Man.
Yeah, well now I can kiss his grave, so.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that was it, Travis.
Yeah,
And then,
yeah, that was it.
Max.
I don't know if I have a particular question. Well, one of them I just kind of had in my mind if there was like any moment like with Chris Stuckman being a filmmaker and all,
There you go.
would you ever follow that sort of pursuit and become like a bit of like a filmmaker yourself? Like, has that sort of like idea crossed your mind?
Of course. There's things I would love to make. I just don't see that as being feasible until I reorganize and restructure everything else in my life that I'm trying to do right now. And so hopefully with everything, all these changes that I'm making, hopefully in like a couple years, I'll be like, or maybe even longer, I don't know, I'll be like in a better situation. Or I'm actually like able to save up money and do like have time to do things on the side and like pursue those types of projects. Just right now, I can't even think about it.
Yeah, it's also just like starting out when you don't have like anything feasible to back it up. It can be quite a struggle considering the film industry is very competitive.
Yeah, I've got enough like connections that I think I could like get some ball rolling in some way, but like it's just a matter of like it would be so much easier if I just lived in LA or something.
Yeah.
Instead of like trying to do everything remote and like trying to think of that practical aspect. So
Yeah.
Even though you always said that LA is the worst place to live in terms of
yeah,
the
it's the worst place to live
Yeah.
in. But it, like if what you're doing is work there, then it's not the worst place to work in. Like
If
LA
you
or
have,
New
like, a-
York would be like really great for like networking and collaborating and like getting projects off the ground,
Yeah,
right?
I think New York would be a pretty good start.
Yeah. I'm just not a US citizen, so I'll have to figure that out.
Yeah, 100%.
Jamie,
Yeah,
what's
of
up?
course.
Hi. Well, we all live in Schenectady.
Yes.
And I normally would come up for a question, but with everything that's been going on, like I just want to take the time to say thank you to you and all the other creators that you work with, your editors and everything like that, for still doing what you do and really committed to do it, because I don't think anyone would blame you if you decided that you needed like have more time to step back.
Mhm.
So it's really great, and I appreciate all the work that you do, and you're really good at it.
Thank you so much. I really
And
appreciate it.
Yeah.
I will say, I think I might have mentioned this before, but when I first heard you say Synecdoche, I thought you were saying it wrong. And
No.
I was annoyed.
I'm not saying it
only
wrong.
to find out by my friend recommending me the movie. I'm like, oh, it's a movie called Synecdoche.
You thought
and
I was
that's
just like ending all my videos
I
saying
was.
Schenectady?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That's
thought you
fun.
were fucking calling my home city wrong
That's great.
on purpose. But thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Debs, if you have any questions or comments before we end, let me know. No pressure. We can always come back to you too if you're busy.
Oh, God damn.
All right, we'll come back to you if you want to say anything. Taylor?
Hey,
Hello.
I was really excited when you announced you're going to be focusing more on the long form content again. That's awesome. I guess you kind of already answered. You thought you're thinking doing the Cool Cat would be a good way to ease back into that. But I was wondering what you're most excited to get back into.
Well, I mean, like,
or what you're going to
you know,
prioritize.
the things that I like feel like I are like the most important ones are like Lion King Part 2, Synecdoche Part 6. I'm excited to do another list video. I want to get this 2016 thing done. And then Old and Spiral are like those are the big ones. But each one of those, the reason why they've been on the side burner is because I'm like they require so much to make them the way that I want them to. Which is why I think that like Cool Cat and Ninja, you know, those can be the same level comedically without requiring as much of like a initial time investment into it as those. So I think that would be a good way to try and work on something while I'm dealing with all this other stuff that I got to do in my personal life. So, and then yeah, we'll see how things go. But I think it'll be a good positive change to just like, I think I'll work better and be able to focus and actually make time for those things when I'm not, you know, changing cities every month and when I'm not in this constant like trying to catch up to make sure I have the right number at the end of the month to be able to pay my editors and stuff. So
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Does it feel like kind of you're going back to your roots, like starting again with a Cool Cat video? I know that was one of your first reviews, and then doing something like Spiral is kind of like that. You know, Saw was some of the earlier reviews you did. Does
yeah, I
it kind of
mean,
feel like
some of those are big projects because they're things that are already a part of like previously existing series that I already have so much to say about. and it's just an addition to those stories. So that's why those are like the larger kind of passion project type things.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Hewlett.
Thank you. Yeah. Sorry for being a bit quiet during the session, but yeah, now that you're focusing on long form content like the Ctica New York reviews and the Lion King Part 2, what do you think you're gonna do like after that? Because those have been like the
I don't think I have
biggest,
to worry about that because these things are not going to come out in the next fucking month. So I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
I don't want to occupy my brain space with even thinking about that because by the time I have to worry about that, there'll probably be a bunch of other things that have just piled up anyway. So
Oh, yeah,
I
of
don't think
course.
I'm going to be starved for content.
No. I'm just excited to see like how like your thoughts will, you know, finally continue with like Senate. Like, I mean, it's been like 10 years, I think, since the original, and no, it's good though, whatever, you know, because I'll be interested to see your final thoughts on it. And like I say, the way that work has just sort of like piled up or whatever, it's like exactly the message of the film. Time will pass you by, you know, without you really realizing it, you know.
Yeah, it's kind of
Year
one of the
by year
messages.
goes. Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
I mean, it is, but there's more to it.
Yeah, no, it's very complex, and yeah, your introspection and discussion. I don't know. Do you find, you say that you didn't find the film depressing? I mean, I think that's what works about
Not this
it,
time, no. Not my last watch.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it gives it's a very sort of complex sort of look into the way like time sort of drips out of like your grasp, you know, and the idea of wanting to be remembered before you die, and just being.
But it doesn't
fast
have
as
to
well.
be depressing. It doesn't have to be depressing, and you know, I'll get into it in the video, but
yeah, I know it doesn't, but just what are your other favorite Philip Seymour Hoffman roles? I just got to ask. Marion Max is fantastic as well, but he's pretty
Marion
much
Max is
fantastic
great.
in everything.
Yeah, I don't
He's,
think like I've never seen a bad performance from him. I don't think so.
The Master is great.
Yeah, The Master, he's
It's
awesome
good.
in.
Yeah.
I watched the original Twister recently. He's in it. He's one of the weaker parts of the film. That's maybe his only performance that I just don't like him in. But other than that, I think he's pretty good in every movie
Oh,
he's in.
I really loved him in that movie.
Really? I thought he was one of the weaker parts. Maybe that's just a me thing. I don't know.
Yeah, he's in Happiness as
Yeah,
well.
I think my favorite
Yeah.
Philip Seymour Hoffman would have to be Mission Impossible 3.
Hell yeah.
No.
Of course,
yeah, I don't know. He's great. Especially his PTA collaborations. He's always great. So.
Yeah, he has like a small scene in Art 8, and it's like one of the best scenes in the movie.
I haven't seen that yet. That's the only one I haven't seen.
He also had a small voice cameo in the Arthur TV show where he played himself.
Yeah.
As an aardvark?
Did they make him a horrifying monster like fucking Matt Damon?
Not really. He
All right,
looks
Hewlett, Finn, is that everything?
No, I guess the only other thing that I'll say is, do you use Plex at all or whatever, or have like any?
No, I was thinking of setting one up, but I haven't gotten around to it.
Oh yeah. I guess okay. The only final thing that I'll say is just, have you had any bad experiences with 4K transfers at all? Because every single like version I've seen has been pretty immaculate, but have there been any
on like a 4K UHD?
Yeah, because it seems at this point we're at a point where image quality can be so high or whatever, you know, the fact that it's pretty hard to screw those up.
I think the Crank 4K was like weirdly dark, and I don't know why, and maybe I'll try watching it again. Like, there was something wrong with my Crank 4K, and I don't remember.
That happens, unfortunately.
Yeah. Like, it was like, it seemed like a mistake.
Yeah.
But that's
there was
about
a case
it.
of Ridley Scott using, or someone using AI
James
or something like that.
Cameron?
James Cameron to remaster
I was gonna say
a lot of his
it can't
films.
get
Yeah.
worse than James Cameron.
Avoid every James Cameron 4K for an older film, is what I've learned.
It's weird, you know. Avatar was supposedly one of the highest grossing films, but it's left so little cultural footprint.
Like bought Titanic 4K. Was that a mistake?
I don't know.
I haven't watched it.
I haven't watched it either in 4K.
Yeah.
working on Aliens 4K at the moment too.
Oh,
My
yeah.
friend did give me his copy of Terminator 2 on 4K for some reason, and maybe that might be why.
Yeah, I've heard that's one of the worst ones ever. So give it a
Yeah.
watch.
And True Lies as well.
Was that Hewlett fan?
Yeah, I guess that's it. And the only one more thing I have to say. How would you consider doing a Clockwork Orange at any point for Sardonic Cost?
Ooh.
I would consider it. Yeah.
That'd be up
Yeah.
for it.
It's on my list of many
That'd be
things I
fun.
could recommend there.
Yeah. Absolute classic. Okay, I think I'm done.
Okay.
I still think Spirit Away would be cool.
Sure.
I hope we get another Ghibli recommendation. I would love that.
Debs, do you have any final questions or comments? I can unmute you if you want. Wait, hold on. You have to unmute if you want to ask a question or comment. Hello.
I do, but I'm at work and
Oh, okay. No worries.
I was going to, but oh, too bad.
It's all good. Yeah, if you want, you can like ask it in the chat or something too.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Okay, thank you. And then I think the order got messed up. So Taylor, I asked you already, right? And then Ben, did I ask Ben?
No, I didn't get asked.
Okay, all right. Ben.
I just want to say thanks for. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes,
I
I
just want to say thanks for everything, you and Olivia and everyone else who you
Oh,
were.
thank you.
You guys are great. Always brighten my day, and glad I am finally able to support financially.
Thank you so much.
That's all
Thank
I
you.
have to say.
Yeah.
I appreciate that very much.
Yeah, and of course, Adam, I also wanted to say, if you ever want to take a step back because of what happened, I'm honestly surprised you were able to come to work this quickly. You know, if something comes up, you know, again, you're perfectly welcome.
Yeah, we'll
to
see. I mean, like
step away.
I've already informed people that the next couple months are going to be like pretty hectic. So just I don't know. We'll see.
Of course,
I'm just
yeah. Well,
yeah.
thank you.
Of
Had
course.
a pretty lonely day, but just these hangouts with everyone mean a lot to me.
Yeah, today's been miserable for me. I haven't even gotten any fucking work done, and I'm so mad at myself. Just can't force myself to do it.
Yeah. Travis, we asked you already, right? Yeah. And
Yep.
then BC 467?
Well, can you hear me for one thing?
Yes.
Okay, good. Because the reason I asked that is just because for some reason my internet's being unstable. But I have two questions. We were talking about like your take on like Destiny and stuff, and like how people were acting weird about like leftists are mad about Kamala's Palestine stance and stuff.
Mhm.
How do you feel? And I think I remember in an old Sardonicus episode you talked about how you don't respect Hassan. Could you elaborate on that?
He's an idiot. I don't know.
Hassan is an idiot.
I think the
Yeah, he's a
I think the
dumbass.
framing of the question implies that I'm supposed to justify why he's not an idiot, when the framing should be that people should have to justify. Sorry, that I would have to justify why he's an idiot, when the framing should really be other people should have to justify why he's not an idiot.
Hassan is like a
Dope.
complete
I don't know.
dipshit.
He's
Yeah,
such a
for sure.
dope. I don't know how he has such a big, serious platform.
He
I
should
know.
not have like a big platform.
Yeah,
Because he's a himbo.
Mm-hmm.
I always
Guys, Russia is not going to invade Ukraine. It's not happening.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
he's
Famous last words.
yeah. I there's nothing to elaborate on. He's there's no reason for me to like respect him really. I haven't seen any.
Fun
So
fact: you can still support. You can still show your support to Palestine and Palestinian lives without supporting a doofus like fucking Hassan Piker.
That clip of
Exactly.
him crying on H3 was like the most embarrassing thing I've seen in my life.
Oh, what clip was that? I didn't watch.
The one where he was like pretending to fucking cry about Palestine. He was on with like H3. Like he saw H3 was crying about like I think like a dead kid or something, and he's like, "Oh, now
Yeah.
I have to cry." It's very cringe.
all right.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Got off.
I and then the
One other
second
thing?
question.
Okay.
Yeah, I have another thing. Then I I guess he would ask like your favorite Philip Seymour Hobbit performance, and that gave me a question I've had for a while. Not counting Scar from The Lion King, what is your favorite Jeremy Irons performance?
The Dungeons and Dragons, of course.
Yeah, my
House of
favorite,
Cookie.
other than The Lion King, my favorite performance was when he was in an interview and walked back his homophobic comments.
It's not incest between men.
Yeah, the
not
performance
between
was when
men.
he was asked and said Scar is actually gay. That was the performance I liked the most.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I figured like maybe there's another performance in a movie that featuring Jeremy Irons that you like, and that's not Lion
I mean,
King,
none that I like attach myself onto in any kind of meaningful way. He's good,
Yeah.
but just like, yeah,
he was good
there's
in
there's
Die
one
Hard
standout.
3. He was really good in Die Hard 3. So
That would be my pick.
Yeah, he's
Die
good in
Hard
that.
Oh
3
yeah,
for
Die
sure.
Hard 3 is fantastic.
Yeah.
All right,
And that's all I have.
Vice.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of were talking about like movies looking forward to, I guess, that's coming up. Yeah, what are like I would say like top 5 films coming up this year that you're like really excited for?
Megalopolis.
Megalopolis.
Yeah.
Megalols Police. Nirvana the band, the show, the movie. Is that coming out this year? I don't know.
That's next. I think that's next. I
hoping.
think that's next year. I think.
Yeah.
It'd be nice
Uh,
if they had like released it and it was ready for TIFF, but who knows?
Nosferatu.
Yeah, Nosferatu, the new
Oh,
Eggers.
Nosferatu, yeah.
Honora, the new Sean Baker.
Yeah, true.
Honora.
And then I think fuck, what's the director's name? I'm gonna have to look up one of his movies to remember his name. Does Jacques Audiard have another? I think he had something at Cannes. Yeah, Emila
I've heard mixed
Perez.
feelings. Oh yeah.
Oh,
That was at
Pablo
Cannes.
Larraín has it. Pablo Larraín has a new biopic called Maria. That's premiering at Venice. So
Okay, cool.
That should be coming out later
Yeah.
this year.
Oh yeah. Oh, and yeah. One more notable thing. Has everyone here seen Hundreds of Beavers yet? Because it finally
Yes.
got.
I haven't yet.
Yeah,
Of course.
Of course.
I definitely see Ninjas of Beavers.
Where can I watch
I've
it?
shown everybody that
I
could
uploaded the
possibly-
Q&A footage to like my personal YouTube channel
Yeah,
recently.
yeah. It finally got a UK release on July the 9th, and I went to go see it in cinemas, and I got Amazon Prime immediately, and my family really couldn't get into it. Annoyingly.
Boo
even
your
if it had a
family.
cut- Yeah, I know.
Go back to them and boo them.
Smelly.
No, I've never. I've
Yeah.
shown it to like several people. All of them have liked it, so that's interesting.
No, it's weird. I showed it to my brother, who gave it a chance. He gave it like half, and he was laughing throughout it, but he said he just couldn't handle a whole film of that kind of pacing. And
I mean, it's a slow burn at the
Yeah.
start, but it's so satisfying watching all the pieces
Sorry.
come together.
It is
Mhm.
kind of slow, but like
Yeah.
it was slow the first time I watched it, but like in a good way. And on repeat watches, I didn't really notice it anymore.
Yeah, once you get past like the late opening credits,
yeah.
it's like full speed ahead.
yeah.
It's just setting up before that point.
Real quick, if anyone here likes Hundred Beavers, I recommend Playtime because there's
Oh,
also a movie
Playtime's awesome. I love.
I need to
like
watch
Playtime.
that.
not
I
at
like.
all gory as or violent as Hundred Beavers, but it's very fun.
That would
in
be a
same way.
good Sardana cast recommendation.
Yeah.
What the hell is
It's
Playtime?
probably my favorite out of the Jacques Tati's films, especially under the Mr. Hula collection.
Jacques Tati?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Jacques Tati.
Okay. Yeah, that's already on my list. All right, that was it, Vice?
Yeah, that's it.
All right, and then Nama? Any final questions or comments?
Just a few things that maybe I don't know. I know you talked about it be interesting to follow the baby reindeer courting.
Mhm.
So I don't know if you saw there was like a thing that Richard Gadd, the creator, released like a letter to the court
Oh.
where he like cited a bunch of of the real emails, and there was some insane stuff in there. So I just would recommend going over that. It's like
Okay.
21
Yeah,
pages
I'm
or
like,
something.
I feel like I'm gonna get back into doing a dive into it once we have like an actual verdict. I think that'll be the time. I don't know if I want to like spend a lot of time staying on top of it from now until that point. I think I'll wait for the verdict and then see what influenced it.
Yeah, I'm
But
just
thanks,
saying
though.
there's some like quotes directly from the real emails she said that are really interesting in that.
Mhm.
So
Something
I might check
about
it out.
beef curtains, presumably.
it was wilder than that. There's like a thing where she said something like, I'm racist and xenophobic, but besides that, I'm just a good wee girl. A very good quote. Um,
Cool.
Okay.
very wild statements. And also he's a scum of a human being, but the Piers Morgan, Kevin Spacey, and Armie Hammer interviews were both interesting to watch.
Oh. Armie Hammer and Kevin
yeah.
Spacey. Are
They were
those like
separate
recent?
ones, but yeah. Yeah, they're both pretty recent.
Hasn't Armie Hammer tried to admit that he was not a cannibal on a recent Peter Morgan interview?
It's pretty dumb that people are latching onto it because the big accusation we should be going after is that it seemed like he was like non-consensually engaging with women.
Exactly.
Like, who cares if he
It's
has a
the,
vor
the
fetish?
cannibal
Like,
thing is
that's...
like less important than the non-consensual part.
Also, it's not really cannibalism, it's just a vor fetish, kind of. But
I wouldn't categorize what
I-
he was into as
I would
vor. I would say cannibalism. Because he was into
Uh,
like vor is more like the people that want to be like swallowed whole and then maybe not digested.
That
in, like, that weird
depends.
fantasy.
Hard
vor people
is a
just like
thing.
Moz a lot.
Hard vor is a thing where they
I know
like,
hard
rip 'em
vor
up
exists.
first.
The hard vor is like a combination of vor and cannibalism then. But like there's a good chunk of people that are like they're into the like humans as food, like, oh, I want to like eat a finger. Sort of like that's more of a
maybe
cannibal
just-
thing.
I think it was more for him like a BDSM, kind of like controlling the person than just the
I think that's a
attraction to
part
the
of
idea
it.
of actually eating someone. But
I think it's both.
We're not
and
asking
just-
the most important question. When is Piers Morgan gonna bring in Dr. Disrespect?
Never.
Oh no.
No, never.
And just last thing, I just wanted to say thanks for all your content. You like are basically the person that got me really into cinema when I was like maybe 14 or something, like years
Same.
ago. So
Same.
Thank you so much.
So
Same.
thanks
Yeah.
a lot for that, and really
You
happy
and
to
Red
be
Letter
able
Media
to
both
support
did
your
that for
content.
me.
Thank you.
Awesome.
I appreciate that very much. And then Jay, I think I asked you earlier, right?
Yeah,
It just
I already answered my
reorganized
question.
because of the hands up thing. All right, thanks for hanging out, everybody. I'll post the
Later,
date for
Adam.
the next hangout
Later,
at
Adam.
some point.
Bye, everybody.
Just check
Bye.
on
This was
the
fun.
just check on the spot on the Patreon where it says the tier perks on the page.
Oh, thank you,
and that's
Jamie.
where it will be updated. All right. Thank you so much for hanging out. I'll catch you later.
Bye.
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 Peace
Bye.
out.
Take care.